Hi everybody, this is Miss Penny and this is another one of Miss Penny's favorite foods. This is an old recipe and I only had one aunt that made it one time and I was young, like 7 or 8, but it held such a strong memory to me because it's so elegant, especially for a child. And it's called a chiffon cake. It's made very delicate. It melts in your mouth. It has to be exact. But it is wonderful. And back in the 50s and 60s, and probably before, this was one of those cakes that you baked for impression. So this is one of those cakes. I think Julia Child made it, and that was the only other time I've seen it. But this is going to be a orange lemon chiffon cake. Hope you like it. Let's get started. Okay, here we go. So this chiffon cake, it calls for 2.5 precise cups of cake flour. I'm using Swan's Down cake flour and I have sifted it. 2.5 cups of cake flour goes into the bowl. To that, I am adding 1 tablespoon of baking soda and 1 tablespoon of baking powder and 1 teaspoon of salt. 1 tablespoon. Okay, we're doing this over. Cut. Okay, everybody. I have added 2.5 cups of Swan's Down cake flour. Any flour will do. Make sure you sift it. Put 2.5 cups of sifted cake flour into the bowl. To that, I have 1 tablespoon of baking powder and 1 teaspoon of salt. That goes in the bowl. I'll put this the recipe in the description box as well so that you have it. To that we are adding 1.3 cup of sugar. 1.3 cup of sugar. That goes in. This cake is a 3-layer cake and it has a luscious buttercream orange frosting as well, which we will do after the cake's cool, and I'll show you how I do that. So you put your 2.5 cups of cake flour in there. You put your teaspoon of salt and your tablespoon of baking powder, and of course your 1 1/3 cup of sugar. Okay, and you just mix it. Just mix it up a little. Then we're going to make a well inside of the flour, because we're going to add our wet ingredients into the well of the flour. So you make a well. To that well, we're going to add 1/2 cup of vegetable oil into the middle of the well that you made in your flour mixture. This recipe is very light, it's very delicate, and it does not take butter. 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. I am adding 1 teaspoon of vanilla flavoring. I am adding 5 egg yolks. 5 egg yolks. You're going to add just the egg yolks. Save your egg whites because you're about to use them as well. But in this particular part of the recipe, you're only using the egg yolks. This is a chiffon cake, and this is an orange lemon chiffon cake. Chiffon is a very delicate material. This is a very delicate cake. This you would have when you wanted to make an impression. You would make this cake. The next thing you're going to add is 3/4 cup of orange juice. 3/4 cup of orange juice. That goes in. Okay, we're going to take it to the mixer and we're going to mix it about 2 minutes and I'll be back. Okay, everybody, we're back. The batter is made. This is the first part of the chiffon cake. This is the batter. It's thick, it's velvety, 5 egg yolks. Now we're going to do the chiffon part of this batter. Before we put in the meringue, which is 5 egg whites, whipped with cream of tartar, and half a teaspoon of cream of tartar, 5 egg whites. We're going to add that. We're going to fold it in gently. Before that, though, we're going to add our 3 teaspoons of fresh orange zest. This zest is from navel oranges, but you can use any orange you want. This is the zest of 2 navel oranges. All right. So that goes in. That goes in. So next we're going to fold in our meringue. Beat your meringue until you get stiff. Until you get stiff peaks. And then we're going to fold it gently into our batter. And this is why it's a chiffon cake. Because the batter is rich. And then we're going to use meringue. 5 egg whites and a half a teaspoon of cream of tartar. Whipped until stiff peaks. Then you're going to gently fold it into your cake. You don't stir it, you fold it in. You can see why it's going to be so light and fluffy. Such a delicate cake. But if you want to make a cake that is delicious, melt in your mouth, show-stopping cake. This was made for special occasions. When I had this as a little girl, it was a very special family occasion. And I never forgot it. So this is the chiffon cake. We're going to gently whip it into, mix it into our batter. We're going to fold it into our batter. We're going to fold it in until it's incorporated. You don't want to lose your volume, so you do not want to beat it in or stir it hard. This takes a few minutes of finesse. This takes a finesse. You cannot just roughhouse with this cake. Chiffon cakes, they're a special cake. And you have to treat them in a special way, or they will not cooperate. They will not cooperate, and you want them to cooperate. So take your few minutes it's going to take and gently fold your meringue into your batter. It only takes about a minute, minute and a half, but you got to do it. It's crucial. You try stirring this meringue in here, and your cake will flop. It will drop like a rock. See how much volume? We started out with a little over a half a bowl of batter. Once you incorporate that meringue of 5 egg whites, it fluffs that batter up into a beautiful light cloud-like batter. All right. All right, that's mixed up good. The next thing we're going to do, we've got 3 cake pans. They have been buttered and floured. And we're going to put our meringue in those 3 cake pans. We're going to bake it on 350 degrees. And we're going to bake it between 17 and 20 minutes. Use a toothpick, stick it in the middle. When it comes up clean, your cake is done. Take it out right then. Okay, the chiffon cakes are in the oven. 17 to 20 minutes. I'll be back when they come out. And once they cool, we'll make the buttercream icing that's made just for this cake. So we'll be back in a few. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Okay, so the cakes have rested and they have cooled beautifully. These are our layers. They've cooled beautifully. And now we're going to assemble. We're going to assemble our cake. Before we do that, we have to make our frosting. Okay, so here we go. We are going to use a 32-ounce bag, which is a 2-pound bag of powdered sugar. 2-pound bag of powdered sugar. Because this cake is a 3-layer cake. So it's going to take quite a bit of frosting. First of all, we're going to put a cup of butter, room temperature butter. This is a buttercream frosting. And we're going to cream it for a few minutes, or a few seconds really, with our mixer. And then we're going to add all of our bag of powdered sugar. Going to add the whole bag. And to that we're going to add a tablespoon of lemon zest and a tablespoon of orange zest. And then we're going to use a combination of fresh squeezed lemon juice and fresh squeezed orange juice until we get the frosting fluffy and exactly the texture that you're going to need. 1 tablespoon at a time until we get that texture. We're adding our powdered sugar and our lemon juice, a little of each at a time. A little bit more lemon juice and orange juice. A little bit of powdered sugar. A little bit of lemon juice and orange juice. Going to use a little bit of orange juice more. We need a little bit more orange juice, so I'm going to use some of this orange juice. And just about a tablespoon. More powdered sugar. Another tablespoon of orange juice. More powdered sugar. A little bit more orange juice. A little bit more powdered sugar. A little bit of orange juice. It's turning really pretty and fluffy, the last of the powdered sugar. And just a tad of orange juice. At this point, I'm going to add our lemon zest and orange zest. Okay, I'm going to add just a touch more of orange juice. I'm actually going to measure it. I'm going to put a tablespoon more of orange juice. Give it a couple more whirls. All right, and there is our orange and lemon zest icing for our chiffon cake. Our chiffon cake, this is our frosting. Make sure the bottom is all right. That's what it looks like. It's like a light pale orange. And I think I'm going to add just a couple drops of of orange coloring in it, because I kind of want it to be a little more orange. I think I want it to be just a tad more orange. And for that, of course, we mix yellow and red. So, a few drops of the red. And a few drops of the yellow. Because it's a pale yellow, but I just want a more dynamic look to it. So we're just putting a little bit more coloring so that we can get that orange pumped up a little bit. The orange flavor is there. It's there. But it's such a pretty cake, we might as well make the frosting what we want. All right. First, we're going to put a little frosting there, just to hold it. And then we're laying our first orange chiffon down. This is a wonderful buttercream. Wonderful buttercream. All right. Next, we're going to put our second layer down. And then, of course, more of that wonderful chiffon buttercream. This is a lovely cake, and it's a delightful cake. It's really delightful. And then our last layer down, and that layer we put face up. And we frost that. And of course our sides. All right, I'll be back in a minute with the finished product and I'll show you exactly how it looks. Okay. Here is the orange lemon chiffon cake with orange and lemon buttercream icing. It's an oldie but a goodie. It's been around for centuries and it is delicious. I hope you enjoy it, and I appreciate all your likes and comments. Please keep them coming. They're very entertaining. They're very encouraging. I'm learning, so I appreciate everybody's comments. Thank you so much. Enjoy this chiffon cake. You're going to love it. All right, I'll see you until next time. Be blessed.